Hi everyone, this is daveac and this is my vblog 173 for Friday the 11th of November 2011. That's the 11th of the 11th of the 11th. Well, 11th of the 11th 2011. There's going to be lots of numbers this week. Yes, lots of numbers, but short on time. Let's get to that wine. Wine at the end, and it most definitely will be under 15 minutes this week, and I'll explain why in a moment. So the content might be a little bit limited. I'm sorry for that. Yes, of course, it's Remembrance Day around the world, where we remember the war dead from all nations. And of course, like other countries, at 11 a.m. in our local time, we had silence for a short time around the country. There's really a very sad time indeed, and I don't really want to reflect on that because by now most of the people who watch this video will have taken their own moment to remember the 11th of November. So let's move on to pleasanter things. Let me talk about podcasts. I always like talking about podcasts on these shows. Well, the Cult and Collective has been busy as usual. The Sunday that's just gone, we did, well, it was a long title. It was Black and White, CinemaScope, 3D or IMAX. It's the story that's count. And we did a show that ran about 2 hours. We were talking about why do people go to the movies to see certain films, and yet others they're quite content to watch them on DVDs or Blu-rays. What is it that makes them go to the cinema for that cinema experience? Is it still the story that counts, or do they go for the big budget effects and so on? And there was a really good debate on that, and I hope you will give it a listen. You can find it on the Cult and Collective TalkShoe page, and that's show ID 54821. You can find us, of course, on iTunes, and if you use Facebook, remember there's the Cult and Collective fan page, and of course our blog at cultdom.com. Now, yesterday it was a little bit late going up. On Thursday, we put another one of our commentaries up. We're doing about Life on Mars, the UK version, Series 1, and our commentary on Episode 4 went up on Thursday, as I say. Hope you will give that a listen. That is also now up on the feeds. And this coming Sunday, which is the Sunday the 30th of November, at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, that's 7 p.m. GMT, we're doing What's Your Superpower? Yes, with Misfits back on our TV screens here in the UK, we decided we'd have another look at superheroes and superpowers, but this time, what would your superpower be if you were managed to have the chance of one? And explain why, and perhaps others in the room will be able to say how they could counteract your superpower. So hopefully it will be a fun episode. The Cult and Collective 54821. Now I'm going to tell you one more podcast. Hopefully if I can get this video up, it's already getting to 9:30 in the evening here, but in about 4.5 hours, about 4 hours by the time this goes up on the feeds, see if you can join Radio Free Camelin. That's Mike Randall Thor's quiz show that he does every Friday. It's on TalkShoe ID 72402. And this week I'll be the quizmaster. Yes, guest quizmaster today. And so obviously if you're watching this video after that event, I'm sure you can go to the Radio Free Camelin site on TalkShoe 72402. Or of course it is on iTunes, and hopefully you'll have a listen because we have a real good time on Mike's quiz nights. Well, I hope they will when I'm hosting it as well, but there you go. Right, some little bits of news, and then I'm going to go straight to the wine because I've had a little bit of an issue yet again with my YouTube site. That's my DAC100 YouTube site. Now, I just recently had the permissions granted to have videos over 15 minutes, but unfortunately I received via YouTube a complaint of one of my videos, and that's been taken down. Not a complaint for me doing anything wrong particularly, I don't think, but what it was actually one of the episodes when I was doing a promotional video, only lasted about 40-50 seconds for a contemplative episode called My Favourite Martian. Now, I didn't show any clips of the TV series My Favourite Martian. All I used was a still image, and then through software with this webcam, this is my Logitech 9000 Pro webcam, you can put your eyes and face, superimpose it on the picture, and I basically ask people to come to the show using that black and white picture. So it's a still picture, no moving bits, but there was a request that it be removed, and so that's been removed. So I've got a feeling that for the next few weeks, my time limit will be set back to a 15-minute maximum. And of course, this video blog goes up on YouTube as well as the blip.tv site, and of course remember worldtv.com, as well as finding it on lots of other places around the internet. So let me just read a few little bits and then we will get to the why. I mentioned last week, and I was talking about that Seesaw, that was a company that allowed streaming of content here in the UK, had now died. But quite rightly, well, not rightly, I couldn't remember the name of the replacement one, and I was picked up by one of my viewers because I didn't do it, thanks to Tim. The one that is still going ahead, and Sir Alan Sugar, I think, is at the head of it, is called YouView. I'm still not certain when it will come out, but I think it's going to be something like March of next year, and that is YouView. The old Kangaroo project was disallowed, and Project Canvas, and it has changed names and so on. So the only one that is ready to come out is called YouView. Okay. Some updates. There have been some updates. I said it was all about numbers. If you use Thunderbird as an email client, I know a lot of people use Google Mail and Hotmail and do all their emails online, but there's a few old duffers like me who actually download their email and read them using some sort of email program. I use Thunderbird. It's just had an upgrade to Thunderbird 8. And Firefox. Firefox is my browser of choice. I use the main feed for Firefox on this main PC, so I'm still on Firefox 8, but on my second PC, I'm on the beta upgrade pack for that, and that has just gone to Firefox 9 beta. Remember, if you use Internet Explorer 9, that's been out for a short while, but Firefox is now going up to 9. And I should just say, by the way, if you're using Internet Explorer 9 with TalkShoe, you need to click compatibility mode, or you may have some issues on the TalkShoe site. Okay, we're almost done. I want to just mention a couple of other things I've seen around the internet. One piece of news that I'm actually not happy about the way it happened, but I'm quite pleased with the result. And that is that unfortunately a chap called Brett Ratner, who was organising the upcoming Oscars, you know, the Academy Awards in February of next year, he made some remarks that caused him to step down from that job. And he had appointed Eddie Murphy as the frontman for the Oscars. Well, Eddie Murphy, being a friend of his, has decided to step down. So I'm sad about that because I quite like Eddie Murphy. He can be a bit raw for me, but many of the times I do like him. But what I do like is the replacement, and that is the 63-year-old comedian rather, Billy Crystal. Now, I really enjoyed him when he's done the Oscars, and he's coming back. Only Bob Hope has hosted the Oscars more times than Billy Crystal, so I am now extremely looking forward to the Oscars. And I'm going to read some very quick pieces of news because I want to have a few minutes with my wine. And that is just to say, one exciting thing I was reading on the BBC bbc.co.uk/news/science-environment page was an X-ray facility to study conditions at Earth's core. An experiment to recreate the extreme conditions at the centre of the Earth was officially opened on Thursday. The ID-24 beam line at the European Synchrotron Radiation Facility, that's the ESRF, will use X-ray beams to subject iron and other materials to the extraordinary temperatures and pressures at the Earth's core. I think things like that are marvellous. And just to one other experiment which is not quite having the same success, but is exciting nonetheless, is the Russian. Where's that link gone? Here we are. We'll get to it in a moment, David. Where's it gone? Where's it gone? There it is. Unfortunately, this is Stricken Mars Probe Stays Silent. This is on the same bbc.co.uk site. Efforts are continuing to try and regain control of the Russian Mars mission that's stuck circling Earth. The Phobos Grunt spacecraft was put in orbit on Wednesday, but failed to fire the engine that was designed to take it on to the Red Planet. Europe has offered Russia assistance with this, so I really do hope that they manage to get that, because it's eagerly waited and it's so long since we've had some missions. Of course, we had that Earthbound mission to Mars where the astronauts were put in a containment and kept isolated just to see what long distance travel to the stars would have on their psychology. But I've got to stop there because I want to have my wine. I want to share it with you. And there it is. High tide, focus, high tide, Syrah, Central Valley of Chile, 2010. It's 13%, freeze frame. This is a wine I think I got from the co-op for around £5. It's been poured out. It's a lovely ruby red colour, and it's been wafting over me quite nicely, but rather red berries than I would have thought, a little bit more black fruit, but it's definitely more of a berry coming through, and a little bit of floral on the nose, I think. Excuse me, that's me. Actually, it's coming through more. It's coming through much more black and darker notes on the brute there. I poured myself a little bit more out because it's after 9 in the evening. That is rich. Let's have a read, because there's quite a lot going on there. This Syrah is a vigorous and vibrant. It displays sweet nose of cherries, I got that, and berries, with chocolate notes and toasty hints. In the mouth it's juicy and tasty wine, refreshingly soft, savvy and slightly sweet, all backed up with good acidity. Perfect in the accompaniment for meats, cheeses and other foods. I think I'm going to have some cheese after this. I've got some nice cheese in. Let me have one more little taste. I'm not sure I'm getting those toasty notes. I'm getting it more as a vanilla, but there's definitely that a slight tartness on the end rather, although it's smooth. There is just a slightly tart finish to it, but it is very, very pleasant. It's got that little bit of, I say, that red cherry and black fruits in it, but that is rather nice. I'll show it again. That's High Tide, Island Negra, and look at that on the bottom. I don't think you saw that. Carbon neutral delivery. Come in the range, things like that. Remember, I've had wines with plastic bottles. I've had wines with, 20% less weight in the bottle, all to try and keep down those carbon footprints. Because one of the things is transporting wine across countries does quite a bit to the environment. And of course, there's the loss of water. One of the reasons that limits Australia's output is that lack of extra water. Well, we're almost up to 15 minutes. I must stop before 15 minutes. Thank you for watching, and that's daveac on Remembrance Day 2011. Catch you next time. Bye.